crazy for Thursday. Let's do some live Q&A. Let's connect with each other. Let's do some game plans. And if you are hopping on, we're gonna drop this number here. Come, check this out. This is my cell phone number, and I'm just gonna do literally 30 minutes of free mentorship. I'm gonna do free game plans. If you have a financial question, a health question, any question on anything on the planet, all I want you to do is text this phone number right here, 385-217-3477. Listen, if you hang with me and you watch my social, you know that I really almost never go live. I just had this like funny feeling today. I'm like, there's someone out there that is going to be looking for a little bit of help. So what really is a game plan? So if you know me, you know that I love helping people invest in real estate, build businesses. I love helping people fix their financial economies. I love it when people, if they need their credit fixed, if they're trying to make their first $1 million, if they're trying to figure out how do I get into private equity, make $100 million, wherever you're at. If you'd like to get some free mentorship, free advice, all I want you to do right now is text me right here, 385-217-3477. My buddy's got my cell phone right here. He's gonna be moderating questions, handing my phone to me, and I'm gonna be hopping up and I'm gonna be doing some free game plans. Now, what kind of inspired this today is before I built any wealth, I had a very first mentor that said, hey, if I were you, I would do this. You've been at your job for a year. I know you don't like it. Stay for a second year. Because if you do, we can use that to qualify for a mortgage. Number two, you have one credit card. You need 2 more credit cards. Get something quick and fast and just start using it and paying it off every month. And then number 3, make sure, Kris, that you got $5,000 in savings. And basically, they said, if you do those 3 things, you'll be in a position a year from now to be able to buy real estate. Now, that was slow advice, but I gotta tell you, it is what got me my start in the game of real estate. So if you have a question and you want me to be your mentor right here in this moment, just text 385-217-3477. Just drop your name, tell me what your question is, and then let's go. Let's connect with each other and let's just see what kind of possibilities we got going on. And then Ethan, if you're seeing some names dropping just here live on, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, tell me who we got there, tell me who we got going on. Just want to do some shout outs, connect with you, say hi. And then from there, let's do some free game plans and let's create some value. I want to see if I can put you on your path to making your next $1 million.
Yeah, so we got Mike Turner photo.
What's up, Mike Turner?
Kavan is on here. Daphne. Jason Ellis.
What's up, Jason Ellis?
Bobby Champagne.
We got Bobby Champagne in the house.
We got Up Life Studios.
Okay.
Carrie Stessel.
What's up, Carrie?
Let's see here. David Bowie.
David Bowie, what's up, brother?
James Badman. Jennifer Robert.
Jennifer, what's up? All right, you guys, listen, it's great to have you guys here. Thanks for coming and hanging with me. So the game that we're playing right now is basically called free mentorship. I'm telling you right now, if you text this number, text me directly on my cell phone, 385-217-3477. Ask me any of your financial questions. Let's do some free game plans. Let's get going right now. All right, let's see what we got here. Thanks, Carson. Okay, this is from Jasmine Simmons. Hey, I'm 28 years old, starting from the bottom with this inflation and crazy economy. I'm wanting to create multiple streams of income. So do you mind, Jasmine? Can I call you Jazz? I'll call you Jasmine. Don't be offended. Let's talk about what you do to actually get your start. Come on over here. So 28 years old, I want to tell you some really interesting stats. So you're technically end of the millennials. We've got 25-year-old and youngers that are now part of Gen Z. Did you know that Gen Z is kicking the millennials' butt as they're doing a lot of side hustles, they've got a lot of side gigs, they're living with their parents and they're saving money more aggressively, and as a result, they're beating up millennials on actually buying real estate. So they're doing some house hacking, right, where they're trying to put that 3% down payment. They're also going to the parts in the country where the homes are less expensive, like under $235,000 on down. A lot of stuff in central country, Midwest, etc., where they're actually getting the real estate game on. So Jasmine, for you, I think the game plan looks like this. Number 1, you got to get your act together and you got to start asking, how much money am I saving? And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of people that when they save money, they're just saving for the sake of saving, like a 401k and IRA. Don't do those things. You're saving for only one purpose. You're saving to invest money. You want to buy real estate, you want to eventually own businesses, and like you said, you want multiple streams of income. I always recommend that you get started by saving 20% of what you make. And at 28, you might say, whoa, Kris, I already started my career. and I've kind of, dude, I don't know if you've heard, but 62% of people live check to check. I can't even save 10%, and I'm going to push you hard and say, I want you to reevaluate your finances and figure out how to save 20%, because if you can, what that's going to do is that's going to put you in a position to be able to invest. Now, Jasmine, one of the first moves that you're going to thank me for 40 years from now, 30 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, is if you actually get in on your first house. And so on your very first house, here's what you need. You need a 3% down payment. 3%? Right now, I'd have the goal for every one of you to be asking, how do I put $10,000 or $15,000 in the bank so that the bank will put up the rest of the money and I can walk into a house? Why is that such an important goal? You know that interest rates are super high right now, right? Here's the crazy thing about those high interest rates, is that Biden wants to be president again, even though I think he's too old and crazy, senile, let's go Brandon. But to look good to the American people, he's going to have to drop those rates because everyone's hating these 7% interest rates. What ends up happening is next year, you'll see that already by spring to summer, they're going to drop the rates about 1.5 points. And because we're missing 6.5 million homes, the prices of real estate are going to skyrocket. So if you can find a way to get yourself into a house under the median, in the $200,000 to $300,000 price point, that house is probably 18 months from now going to be worth $50,000 to over $100,000 more than it is right now. So literally in the next 18 months, you're walking into what could be $50,000 or $100,000. And Jasmine, if you think about the 10 grand that you might need to borrow, cheat, steal from a family member, a friend, or whoever to actually get in on that first house, what if you put 10 grand down on a house and then you fast forward 2 years and it's worth 100,000 more? You go back to the bank, you get a home equity line of credit. Now you can buy investment properties, you can buy businesses. That's how you get your start. When you're 28, you're starting from nothing in this recession. Great question, thank you. Okay, real quick, everybody, if you're just joining me right now, I'm doing live Q&A. Any questions you got on money, life, whatever, just text me on my cell phone right here. This is my cell phone, 385-217-3477. Text me. Do we got
yes,
questions lined up?
Vladimir Putin wants you to say his name so he knows this is actually live.
Vladimir Putin! Now you know that this is live, but I doubt that's your name, and I don't know if I claim that name. All right, here's the next one. This one is from, do I say Davier Daniels? Davier, hey Kris, quick question. With wholesaling, how does the process change when you're in communication with the realtor instead of the homeowner? Davier, really good question. In the game of wholesaling, here's how you win. You got to get to deals that are pre-market. When the realtor's involved, it's already been brought to the market. So finding wholesale deals and working with realtors, I'm not saying it can't be done, I'm just saying it's really hard. So the bigger win for you is to say, hey, like for example, in my wholesaling course, I teach 17 strategies on how you find homes before they go to market. That's the win right there. I just helped my buddy turn on my marketing machine. Yesterday he got 7 leads. He said 3 of the 7 deals that he called on, he said they were thinking about listing their home. They have no idea how he got their phone number. Of course, I know, but that's the genius of wholesaling. So if you're trying to do wholesaling from homes that are going to market, I think you're late to the game. Great question, thank you. All right, I got my next question here, but for those of you that are just joining, text me. My phone number's right here, and then what I'm gonna do is I got my team querying and saying, hey, which questions do we want to hone in on? So ask good questions, right? We can do money questions, financial questions, life questions, health questions, whatever you want, relationship. Okay, this comes from Eli Kaufman. Hey Kris, my name is Eli. I find it very hard to buy homes in this market. I make less than $3,000 a month in the field that I'm in. What should I do? I'm ready to shake things up. Okay, Eli, you're not gonna like what I have to say. You're in the field and you're making $3,000 a month. You ready to shake things up? Here you go. Get out of your field. You're in the wrong field because your field isn't paying you enough money. People come to me like, hey Kris, just like my friend right over here. She said, Jasmine was asking that question like, hey, I'm 28, I'm starting from the bottom, where do I go? And the advice I said is save 20% of your money. But if you're only making $36,000 a year, saving 20% is $7,200 a year. Got news for you. You might be saving up for years before you have a worthwhile amount of money that you can do something with. So instead, here's my advice. You got to go find a different game. Now, by the way, if you're texting me, if you ask, for example, about my wholesaling course, I got people that are making 6 figures, not just basic 6 figures, but hundreds of thousands, some of them even 7 figures playing that game. And so that's a different field. You want to shake it up, you should really honestly be questioning your career. All right, we're doing live Q&A. Bring the camera over. This is my cell phone. If you want to connect with me, if you've got a brilliant, smart financial question, what I want you to do is text me so we can connect. I got Joe Chaplin right here. If I have a good chunk of money, but no recent employment history, and my credit is okay, is getting a job for the next 2 years really the only way to get on the straight path? Bro, Joe, 100% false. Let me kind of break this down for you. When you buy real estate, what you're talking about, get a little closer if you need to. Joe, my friends, is talking about traditional real estate. Traditional real estate is where you're like, I've been at my job for 2 years, I'm going to use my credit, and then I'm going to go through a bank. And that's traditional. And when you do that, you got to have basically 2 years at a job. You got to have a certain level of income. You can't have a strong lapse. Like if you have more than a 3 or 4 month lapse between jobs, you may have to start over your 2 years. So if you've got a good chunk of money saved up and you're like, do I just go get a job for 2 years so I can buy real estate? The answer is no. You need to do something unconventional. For example, I got people that you probably know, Joe, that partner with me from all over the world. One of the reasons why they partner is because I'm an unconventional real estate guy. One of the things that I like to do is I like to pool real estate funds together amongst all of my partners. So let's just say that you got a chunk of money. So-and-so has 100 grand, so-and-so has 30 grand, so-and-so has 50 grand. We put it all together, now I've got $5 million. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go buy a whole bunch of really good deals and I'm gonna buy them cash. Now, when I buy them cash, Joe, I'm then gonna go to a bank that says, I don't care about Joe and his traditional real estate. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna give you up to a loan on 70% of that $5 million. They're gonna give me somewhere right around 3.5 million bucks. And guess what I'm gonna do with that? I'm gonna go buy a whole bunch more real estate cash. And then I'm gonna borrow it at 70%, and I'm going to repeat the cycle as long as it makes sense. What this allows me to do is produce the same high ROIs for you that we're actually producing if you were to do it traditionally. But you know why I don't want you to go traditional, Joe? Because you have a 2-year waiting line. And if there's one thing you can't afford to do in this real estate economy is wait. Because I promise you, Rocket Mortgage said that by the end of next year, they're predicting by the end of the year that we're going to hit mortgage rates of 4.1%. Do you know what that's going to do? You hit rates of 4.1% long before then, when they hit 4, when they hit 5, when they hit 6, even when they hit 6.5, the market is going to skyrocket. So you got to figure out how to get in the game of real estate right now. Now, by the way, for Joe, any of you that are just joining and want to do a game plan with me, you can text this phone number and we can jam and talk. But Joe, connect with me on that text thread and just say, Kris, teach me about partnering in unconventional real estate. And I got Jazz who's monitoring my phone call while I'm doing this, and she'll make sure the member of my team calls you and shows you how to get in without doing the traditional route. By the way, really good question. Really appreciate it. We're going to move on to our next question. And if you're just joining live, text me. You might be next in the queue. All right. I got Jordan Kondroff. I hope I said that right, buddy. Jordan says, hey, Kris, just bought my second house with a lease option. What's up, bro? Between the two houses, I'm cash flowing $1,100 a month. Did you know that that was my cash flow on my first two properties? $500 on one, $600 on the other, $1,100 a month. Thank you for your guidance. Brother, congratulations, really happy for you. How do I go from 2 houses to 4 to 8 to 16 in the next couple of years? Okay, I'm gonna show you something really cool. I'm gonna tell you what my game plan was. Let me show you what I did. I saved up $5K and I used that to house hack. I put a 3% down payment on a tiny little house. That house was $110,000. That was a super, super cheap hole in the ground house even way back then. Now, by the way, it's worth a whole lot more than that. At the time it was worth $150 and later I sold it for $180 plus. But this house, when I got into it for $110, I used the equity from this house to buy my second house. So my first house bought my second house. This $5 grand, technically $3,300, was all I needed to get into 2 homes. Here's what I did next. I used the equity in my second house to get my third house. Now you know what that did for me? That meant that my $3,300 was now sitting across 3 homes. something really cool happened. I now had the magic number 3. Jordan, you're sitting at the magic number 2. Why is 3 a magic number? When you told your friends and family that you bought your first house, didn't they think you were crazy? I know that many of them did, right? Like, you know what I'm talking about. When you bought your second house, they said you must have gotten lucky. If you can do it one more time, those same people are gonna say, oh no, I now have FOMO because Jordan has figured something out. 3 is the number when people convert from being skeptical to basically saying, I want to play with you. So your next move on how you go faster is by actually using other people's money. And why would they do that? Bro, you got 2 houses. Now, guys, I just finished an event on Monday, Tuesday, so I got like a little bit of the coughs going on because I was screaming and yelling from the top of my lungs. Kind of happens. In 2 weeks, I got my final event of the year here in Provo, Utah, at my event center. If you, dude, you know what, I'm going to do this right now. If you want a free ticket, this is a $2,000 ticket to my event, general admission, I'll give it to you for free. All you got to do is just text me right over here, this phone number. Just text free event ticket, and I'll make sure that my team gets in touch with you and gets you registered if you want to come and spend 4 days with me. The event is November 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, where I'm going to teach you everything, even how to become a billionaire. Now, come back with me. I just want to finish Jordan's question here. Jordan, here's what I want you to know. 3 homes means magic track record, and this is where other people will say, dude, if you're making $1,100 on 2, you do your third deal, you're making $1,600 a month. Can I give you money from savings or 401k or equity in my home, and can we partner up and can we do deals together? And that's how I went from 3 homes to a couple years later, 25 homes. Those 25 homes paid me $12,000 a month. That's why I never got a job once I graduated college. Jordan, you're on your way, buddy, and congratulations, and I'm excited for you, and you are freaking doing it. Yes, I would like to have some of the good stuff. This is Perrier. For those of you that are wondering, Kris Krohn, why would you drink that sparkling European trash? Let me tell you why. When you drink Perrier, it's a palate cleanser. Next time you go out to a nice steakhouse, you can make every bite taste as good as the first if you cleanse in between. It gives you time also to reflect because you're filling your stomach with this instead of just shoving food down your gullet. All right, hang on to that for me. You got another question?
No, we're not sponsored by Perrier.
No, I'm not sponsored by Perrier, but it kind of sounds like I should be, right? All right, check it out. Fiji reached out and they're like, Kris, will you just keep Fiji water like on your table when you do your podcast? And I said, I don't drink Fiji. All right, check it out. If you want a game time with me, I want you to text me 385-217-3477. You might be next in the queue. This one from Lindy. Kris, I found out I had a 401k. Congratulations, Lindy. I forgot that it existed. It's got $1,200 in it. What would you suggest I do with it? I know it's not much, but where would I put it to grow? Well, it's not going to grow in your 401k. So take it out. You're going to pay taxes and penalties on nothing because it's just almost nothing. Take the money, and what I want you to do is do what I told Jasmine to do. Use it to house hack, put it towards a 3% down payment on a house, or freaking use it to come out of my event. I just gave you a $2,000 ticket to my event, November 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Buy a plane ticket, get a hotel, join me for 4 days, and there's probably no greater investment that you can do because guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to teach you how to literally build a financial world starting with nothing. And the cool thing is you don't need anything. Lindy, great question.
Kris, were you just giving her tickets to the event?
No, I gave everyone that is here that
Shut
wants a ticket
up.
on 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Give them a code word.
Yeah, I did. You guys have to just text me
Free
event ticket. Chris's $2,000 gift because he's just crazy. I'm not. It's just my last event of the year. I know I have a handful of seats left, and I'd rather put the right people in proximity to me for 4 days. Here's what I can promise you. It's life-changing. Your life will never be the same again. And I want you to come up to me and shake my hand and say, hey, bro, I went live with you, and you gave me a free ticket. And we'll share a really great moment together. All right. Next question. This one comes from Caleb Stingley. Caleb. Hello, my name is Caleb. I'm 23. I'm looking to get into real estate, specifically as an agent. I'm sorry. Do you have a pathway outline to follow on tips on how you share this with this field? So Caleb, there's nothing wrong with being a realtor, but I just want to warn you something. Realtors can make really good money. Just know that realtors are not investors. And people that have a job in real estate make money in real estate. And those that invest in real estate get rich. Do you want a job or do you want to get rich? I think it's something for you to think about. You can do both, but it's weird. There's a lot of realtors that get they get this proximity to real estate by being a realtor, and then they kind of forget. They think, I've convinced myself I'm in the game. You're not in the game. You're not an investor. Until you own property that you don't live in, you're not an investor yet. So that's just something for you to think about. All right. By the way, I never got my realtor's license, and I've transacted 6,500 deals. And I want you to think about for just a moment, either I'm the dumbest man on the planet that has foregone millions and millions and millions of dollars in commissions, or there was something else going on. Food for thought. Violet, why do you encourage people to never pay off their mortgage? Violet, I love this question. I get a lot of flack. There's a lot of people that get pissed at me. Let me show you why. I buy this house. It has a value of $350,000. I put a 20% down payment, so what I owe on it, let's just say, is $270,000. We wait over the next 24 months, just like I said, and that same house now has a new value. Can you see it up here, Ethan? Mm-hmm. Of $500,000. You now have a house that's worth you have a house that's worth $500,000, and you only owe $270,000. And here's what you're thinking, Kris, if I wait long enough, and if I pay off that 30-year mortgage, it's going to be paid off. Maybe the house will be worth $800,000 in the future, and it'll be paid off. Isn't that great? A paid-off house gives you the lowest return on investment because you have no leverage. Once a house is paid off, guess what I do, Violet? I sell it. Because the goal isn't to own real estate. The goal is to control real estate. When I sell it, guess how much I'm going to net? I'm probably going to make somewhere around $200,000 after selling costs, and I'm going to use that to do what? I'm going to go buy 3. I only got 5 more minutes. I want you to text me on this phone number, 385-217-3477. And let's see our next question. Okay, from Mike. Kris, watching you go live on Instagram. I got $240,000 in my 401k. I've got a 6% return since inception. That, by the way, Mike, is a little higher than the 30-year average. What's the move? Well, brother, you got to get that money out of that 401k. You got to claim hardship. If some of that is rollover, text me if it is. If any part of that is from like, oh yeah, well, so, $150,000 of that came from my previous job, and then later I rolled it over to my new company. Whatever you've rolled over, you can access now. What do you want to earn? 5% or do you want to earn 25%? Let me show you numbers. If I just took 50 grand from that and I kept it in my 401k earning 6% for 20 years, it's going to grow to $160,000. It's going to triple. If I take that same $50,000, I put it in real estate, earning a minimum of 25% for 20 years, guess what it's going to turn into? $4.3 million. That is 27 times more money. I would take every penny out of my 401k and I'd buy as much real estate in the next 90 days as you can, because if you were to take that full amount out, you'd probably be able to buy 3 or 4 homes. Let's say you get 4 homes. Those 4 homes by the end of next year, each will probably add another $50,000 to $100,000 in net worth, which means there's a couple $100,000 that you're walking from by keeping it in the 401k. This is why I get rich in real estate, bro. Take it out as hard and as fast as you possibly can. By the way, if you have any questions that I don't get to, my team and I'm going to hop on because I want to respond and get back to you as quickly as I can. So before we shut down, I'm going to do one more question. Here's the phone number. Just text me. Let's chat and talk. And then I may have you talk to a member of my team today to give you a free game plan. I love game plans because it's a chance to give you a unique perspective. Okay, the last question for today.
Real quick, some people are asking where the event is.
Good, thank you. The event for the free ticket, I gave everyone watching here a $2,000 general admission ticket. It's in Provo, Utah. You fly into Salt Lake City. The event is all day starting at 9 a.m. on the 8th, 9th, 10th, and ends around 6 p.m. on the 11th. Spend those 4 days with me, and here's what I can promise you. Your world is never going to be the same again. It's not simple sit-down lecture series. It's not just talking real estate. We're going to go deep into the psychology. I'm going to give you all the systems. I'm going to show you how to build the wealth. It's going to change everything for you. It's going to be awesome. Great question. Okay, Joe has a final question here. No, we already did Joe. Found a good big chunk of money. Get me one more final question. Otherwise, just know that after the stream ends.
That wasn't the right one.
Here we go. Mark Jennings. Kris, discuss some strategies for forming relationships with lenders so they come to you with distressed opportunities. Guys, Mark, lenders don't have distressed opportunities, so you don't want to build a relationship with lenders. You want to build a relationship with realtors. And here's what I would do. I would find every realtor that specializes in distressed properties. So look at what they're showcasing. If they're like luxury homes, priced at retail, max dollar, you're not looking for that. You're looking for the realtor that says handyman special, discounted property, instant equity, build some sweat equity, bring your hammer and tool belt. Those are the ones that you want to build a relationship with because those are the ones that actually have access to the really good deals. I hope that helps. Mark, that was a really great question. Everybody, really glad that I had a chance to go live with all of you here, connect with you. I would love to do this again, but for those of you that were with me today, keep the conversation going, and I hope to see you live at my event in November. And if you want a free game plan, all you got to do is text game plan, and I'm going to have a member of my team call you and say, they're trained. If I literally woke up with your credit and your income or lack thereof, or your 401k or your equity, what would I do to make $10 million? They will answer that question for you. With that, my friends, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.